Lady and gentlemen, boys and girl, welcome back to the BDMA Bread and Circus. Please support my Patreon account. Links will be in description. So I wanted to do something voiceover all the way through for everyone, and get you over to my Patreon, hopefully, and pick everyone's brain a little bit. So I'm doing something a little conceptual out of the box. It's going to be top 5 fighters and or martial arts the UFC needs in 2020 and beyond. I kept it kind of above the waist, if you will, but I wanted to keep it away from MMA prospects for sure. All of these are, most of them are actual people. Some are more conceptual as far as the art. That's why I kind of put fighters and martial arts and left it like that. So without further ado, number 5. New school, the high-level Muay Thai. Senchai, my good friend Chip Maraza Pollard, the surgeon himself, but you can figure out why I know him, and a few others. And it's more of a reference to the style of certain Thai fighters. It's not a blanket Thai boxing statement, and it's not a blanket fighter either. Senchai I know entertained going into MMA at some point, and as you can see here, Senchai, I mean, we're talking about a ridiculous 50-pound size difference. Something I wanted to point out, like right here, you see Chip being evasive, right? They call him a surgeon for you know, pretty obvious reasons, right? He's precise, and he's an elusive cat. Like, Chip could compete, and I know this firsthand, he could compete in boxing. You know, he's a great stand-up fighter. Ironically, he's done some MMA, and it's really not his thing. I don't think he likes the grappling element, but he's undefeated, and he's a champion in lion fights right now. So on our soil, these new school type strikers that, you know, train at Saidiatong and these high-level striking gyms also have MMA experience with 4-ounce gloves, might have some experience with bigger gloves, etc. So look at the way he attacks the long guard here. It's kind of similar to like a dragon guard. He peels away that long arm from the open stance there into a hook. It was kind of like a momentous pendulum, and you'll see some of his kicking ability here. He's got great dexterity, and when I was watching him in Senchai, it was interesting because I've never met Senchai, and Chip's about my size, about same height anyway, similar. There he is with my homegirl Phoenix, who trained at the Watt Gym, the same place I did. She actually worked there as well, under Ajahn Phil Nurse. But this is more conceptual, of course, and it's the feared ways of the Muay Khao. Muay Khao is more aimed at the taller Thai clinch fighter, people that are strong in the plum with knees, elbows, etc. But usually take a long person to get inside, like Diesel Noi. I'm awful at pronouncing Thai names, forgive me for that. And the footage of him is pretty sparse, and I didn't want to take anything from, say, like Lawrence. But this is older school. You can tell just by the grainy footage, really. But if you see, he longs his way into clinches and then uses knees in a manipulative sense. So he'll attack the body for like a round before coming up and around on the top. Now see the defensive posture here. The opponent, he's going to come right up and around that, near the temple, and that's good night Irene, as Mr. Schiavello and crew would say. And that guy is I'm going to say less than cognizant. Good call to stop that. Pech Bonchu, who's probably the most decorated Thai fighter, I don't know about ever, but certainly walking today, I would think. Senchai, there's an argument for, I guess. Yadson Clay, I don't know. There's a few. So he's right now, anyways, by most purists, probably considered the most accomplished guy. And here he is, you know, looking like he's going deep, going up high to the face. And actually, check out a video of him and his brilliant clinch work with Shane Faison, a friend of mine from Fight Tips. Been around YouTube forever and a day. Look at this attack, similar to like how a wrestler would, right there, how he turned the knee in on a single, and instead he starts attacking with the knee, and as he I'm sorry, with an elbow on the knee, and when he lifts it up that last time there, he ends up taking the elbow up and over and making it concussive right to the face, which is incredible. And this is just a quick montage, really, of some of his foot sweeps, dumps, as some would say, or trips, and also his just brilliant knee work from the clinch. This guy's a magical Thai fighter. So it's about the clinch, really, more than anything else. If you've ever talked to any wrestlers or anything that are consider themselves strong in the clinch that have been to Thailand, they'll tell you that over there it's just a different game. So next, and really no surprises here, Mr. Jordan Burroughs, United States Olympic gold medalist, one of the greatest athletes walking the planet right now. He is something special. For the non-purist, he is a lot of double legs and athleticism and explosive ability. To the trained eye, he is much more complicated. Yes, he gets a lot of double legs by doing that to square up hips, but the way in which he gets his opponent's hips square to his own, laces ankles like that, right here from collar ties. See, the person has a very clear shot leg and a drag leg right there, and right now by feinting, he ended up squaring the hips as he changed level. And look at that right foot, ready to explode, lace those legs up. Here with an over tie on the same side as the shot leg or lead leg. And again, nomenclature it changes. He kind of did right there, beautiful snap down into the double. Again, common theme here. He waits until he can get squared hips from the opponent like that before exploding. And you'll see a lot of those kind of gator rollish tosses that he does. And I wanted to slow this down here because it's kind of perfect form where you have your forehead right in their solar plexus as you shoot through them. And that's the thing with the double leg, is it's about shooting through. Your momentum's, it's almost like you're aiming past target, if you will. And their beautiful single right here, it's kind of like a crack down into a leg elevation. What he does is then shuck that into a back take, and he gets a gut wrench kind of gator roll here. See that back take right here? Now he's going to come over the top opposite side and wrench him right around. Beautiful, beautiful work. There he is. And from the over tie, it laces those up, and that's just world-class leg lacing, really. And to summarize, that's like a double leg, but it's almost like he just laced his legs. And this is the symbiotic nature of both things that I just mentioned. And you'll see him with the leg lace rolling over, kind of a mat return collapse of the arm over there, far side, wrist control, beautiful stuff. Another non-surprise here, especially with the Muay Thai footage as of late and the back and forth with him and Cejudo, which is just incredible and should be to everyone. Mr. Vassal Lomachenko, this is all him, all of it. This kid has been doing martial arts at a high level since ever. I don't think he knows any other way. And if you haven't seen my Bushido video on Lomachenko, I strongly suggest it, not to self-promote. It's done pretty well. It doesn't need it. But I kind of go into the nature of all of this and how this is important. I mean, you're seeing him here from Kesa off of Harayagoshi doing a nice arm bar, and then he just springs up like this kid that doesn't know another way. You know, this is his normal, right? Would he ever do it? Probably not. He said he'd love to compete at like a novice pro level, but here you're seeing like reactive, you know, belly to belly suplexes at 8-9 years old. So he has plenty of experience with freestyle wrestling. Sambo, although Sambo is misunderstood. Sambo is like saying MMA in a lot of ways. And as you can see, he was athletic even back then. And he hasn't forgotten as an adult either. See his form here to bring, look at that leg post first, step over, and watch he arches his back. He knows exactly what he's doing. That's someone who has trained in grappling, period. And this has hit the rounds lately, and if you haven't seen it, shame on you, I guess. I mean, this is absurd on so many levels. This was the first day that he was kicking pads. Now, I think this was the second day, which he was trying to get his form better, and as the guy's saying right there, your plant foot needs to come up in the air toward me, and you need to swing your arms and cover your lead hand, which he was not doing before. Now look at how he's doing that now and how light he is in the process. He's landing a little bit on his heels, but day 2, really? It's the knee at the end for like, yeah, I can do that. And I'll do some circle knees on the bag and a spinning elbow and walk away. I'm that good. You knew I wasn't going to leave out Henzo Cats, right? So for about, I don't know, 11 or 40 reasons, Gordon Ryan, Nicky Ryan. Nicky Ryan, by the way, is 17 years old. There he is. Little child prodigy. And Gordon wearing that goofy Burger King thing. All bueno. We are seeing how good Gary Tonin is doing in Japan right now. Look at that beautiful high mount. That is something you'll see as a common binding factor, and that step over was perfect into the arm triangle. Gordon had said on the aerial show that it was his ultimate goal to be the best in the world in MMA. That's the quote that I could find. It doesn't really sound like the best verbiage, but we'll go with it. Rogan was recently talking about the difference between like black belt level squeeze on an RNC and or technique. And he said the same when he was talking about GSP as well. As you'll see with Gordon, he does interesting things of the Danaher school. Like right there, that was kind of a north-south deke, like he was faking it, to then come around the corner for an arm bar with a leg triangulation. I think that was part of VBI. Just super impressive. From here, you got kind of a snap down from the front headlock, chancery, as BJJ Scout would say a million years ago, and that's that roll over the shoulder kind of high elbow guillotine Tonin hit Kit Dale with, and I had talked to Israel Adesanya about, and I think I even mentioned it in a video. So from here, you're seeing that same kind of mount style to back take that we were seeing earlier from Gordon. This is Nicky going against, full grown men. I think here he may have been 16 years old, and I know he just won a match against Uriah Faber, who definitely took a trip to Mexico before competing. But this kid is absolutely ridiculous. And from what I hear from, say, John or Henzo or someone else secondhand, is that the kid's work ethic is his genius. It's not just that he's prodigious in his talents and that he moves well and loves to grapple. He's a prodigy of work ethic. He's a product of environment and circumstance, and a really bright kid that's talented with awesome dexterity. This back take is about as pretty of a thing as you'll ever see. And yeah, jiu-jitsu just makes a whole lot of sense to set up one who is just flat out terrifying. Although terrifying isn't really the litmus test, it is more that 205 has sucked lately, and we need someone like Saljulayev, who went on record to say that after the Olympics in 2020 during Tokyo, we'll talk about the transition to MMA. He is, by most accounts, mine included, the pound-for-pound king of freestyle wrestling in the world, from Dagestan, friends with Khabib, with a similar adulation. So let's watch some of his handiwork, shall we? Hear this head post and subsequent step over with the Turk here. Look at this. Look at the athleticism. Now, it's a guy, I don't know what he weighed on that day, and his weight's been anywhere from 190 to 200 pounds-ish over the last few years. But won his first world championship at 17, won a gold medal at, I believe, early 20s, like 22, something like that. I have it in the liner notes somewhere. Here, this isn't unlike the broken Russian tie video, and I covered that somewhat in my Islam Makhachev breakdown. Check this out. So he gets his arms inside, dekes out to the other leg, comes around and laces the legs up. His change of direction for someone this size is just absolutely incredible, and something you often would never see. See his high elbow there on the overhook. Now he gets wrist control. It's what he does from here. And it'll always start kind of basic. Look at that cartwheel over, grabs Janko from there, north-south, around, back take. And that happened in seconds, real time. So wash, rinse, and watch me, because I understand grappling unlike some other heralded analysts who I don't know if they've sparred. This is a beautiful bicep slice into fireman's carry. Now there's a pin at the end too, so as he stands up right here, see he's gonna slice that bicep. They don't call it that in a wrestling sense, but you will certainly see it. I don't like the fireman's carry, but he does it well. This single leg, it looks like Henry Cejudo's, in the fact that he comes around the corner so fast, really is all I meant there. And the chess game now is, how do you beat the whizzer? Some people will talk about eating the bicep in a wrestling context. It's not exactly what he does here. Is he presses forward with his head right into the armpit, which is completely uncomfortable, and then does the equivalent of a duck under to get the back take and roll out with a gator. This dude's terrifying, and boy, could 205 use him. Couldn't we all? We need parity, and that's with a T in MMA right now, especially in the UFC. So I thank you all for watching. I know I was due for a voiceover, so I wanted to provide that for all of you. I hope you enjoyed. Please check out my Patreon. I'll leave it as a comment, and I'll also leave it in the video description. And share, like, subscribe, get the word out. There are some terrible channels out there with a lot of subs, and I don't get it, but I'm not dumbing down my material to appeal to masses. It's just not in my constitution as a person. So I hope you dug this. I don't particularly enjoy doing voiceovers, but I will for you all. Thank you for watching, and cheers.